Okay, so hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing a simple plan to produce cycle in SAP for a finished good, which is a DXTR 1010 deluxe touring bike. One of the components that we're going to be looking at is BRKT 1010, which is the brake kit. Strategy is plan to stock, and the cycle is plan to produce. Make to stock and plan to produce. So we'll look at the stock requirement list of DXTR first. The plant would be DL00. Okay, so if we look here, the available quantity is 381 units. And you can see there is a planned order of 72 units here in stock requirements of DXTR. Now let's just look at the stock requirements of BRKT. So let's just do an MD04 transaction code, and we'll do the same for BRKT. BRKT 1010 will hit continue. And as you can see that the available quantity is 6665, and instead of a planned order, we will be having an order reservation for this, because this is one of the raw materials that's going to be used in the production of DXTR. So now that we have both of these stock requirements based on the MRP, the other things that we need to look as the stock overview. So we'll follow the transaction code MMBE. So let's just look at BRKT 1010 first. Plant is DL00. We'll just select all display levels and hit execute. Yep. So let's hit execute. So you see that 6665 is the unrestricted use stock which we can use. 10,200 is what is reserved against the orders that we have to make. And 3655 is the on order stock for which we have either created a PR or a PO, but the stock has not been received as of yet. So now let's go and do the same MMBE for DXTR. So let's look at DXTR 1010. We'll hit execute. So we see that unrestricted use stock is 381. Now since this is a finished good, there is no on order or reserved stock. Okay, so we have these four things in order. So the next step that we actually need to do is that we need to convert a planned order into a production order. So basically, if we come here and look at DXTR, we see that we have a planned order of 72 units existing in the stock requirement list. So what we're going to be doing is that we'll be converting part of this planned order into a production order. So the quantity that we have taken for this exercise is 50 units. So we'll just click on the planned order on the second last row, and we'll convert some part of it into a production order. So let's just click on this planned order. We have a planned order to production order in partial quantity. So we'll click this, and we'll specify the quantity as 50 units. Yep. So let's just hit save. Let's just hit continue. So we have a warning that error calculating cost. Will just continue anyways. So now we have a production order. We'll just copy this number real quick because we will be needing that in the later stages. So let me just hit notepad. Oops. Okay. Okay, let's just save this production order. We'll paste this number and we'll just keep it handy for now. So let's just go back. Okay, so we'll just go back to the stock requirement list of DXTR and we'll just hit refresh. So what you might see is that the planned order would actually go down by 50, and instead of this, a production order of 50 would be created. So you see that the planned order has gone down from 72 to 22, and a production order of subsequent 50 units has been created. Okay, so let's just do the same for BRKT. So here instead of planned production order, we must be getting an order reservation. Uh, okay, why is this 100? Should be a 50. Am I missing something? Uh, 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 uh. Okay, stock is still 6665 as it should be. Uh, 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 uh. Have I forgot to hit refresh? Let's just see once. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to hit refresh. So you look here that another order reservation of 50 units has been created here for BRKT. So now that we have created a production order, we actually need to go to the shop floor and see. So, but before that, if you look at the stock overview, this reserved quantity should increase by 50 units. So once the order reservation is created, you see that the reserved quantity has gone up from 10,200 units to 10,250 units. The unrestricted has not been touched because we have not used anything. And look at DXTR, it has not changed because it's a finished good and we have not actually built anything. So there would be no change in the stock of DXTR. Okay, so next we'll go to logistics, we'll go to production, we'll go to shop floor control, and we'll go to order and we'll go to change. Now we'll just copy the production order number that we got in the previous steps. So let's just paste it here and hit continue. Hmm. So you see that the quantity is 50 units and we have a bunch of status codes that is coming on the top part of the query. So just hit I and you'll get whatever the codes mean. So means released, so the material has been released. PRC means pre-costed. For our activity, that would be standard costing. CACR means there is some error in cost calculation, material has been committed, and the settlement rule has been created.
So, the settlement rule is to do with how the cost flows from the production order to the cost order. The thing that we would need to see in the production order is the components that are there in the production order. This particular menu shows the material availability check. That means we are checking whether all the materials are available or not. This was basically checked automatically by the system when we created a production order from the planned order. However, if we want to check it again, we can do it from here. This shows the component. So these are the component that will be required under standard conditions to produce 50 units. I'm just opening a new session and seeing the bill of material available as a part of production master data. There are various types of bill of material. We're just looking at called material tool of material, and we will look the bill of material for TXTR. We want to see for how many units of components are required for making 1 unit of TXTR. Uh, Now we are going in the master data, and for that particular order where 50 quantity was required, so just like bill of material routing is also a master data. So I can go and check the routing for uh, TXTR and see whether the same operations are present in route. Of course, we can change the components of bill of material and routing in the production order, but that is considered to be not a regular practice. These operations will take place sequentially. So, for example, first 0010 operation, followed by 0020, 0030, and so on. Now, since we are focusing on plan to produce cycle, we will have to bring materials directly in stock. The purpose of doing it is to save time and do not follow the normal process. However, this is not something that will typically be used in the industry because if we are bringing stock without any lineage, that might lead to a lack of control and a lot of malpractices, of course. So this good movement is not against any purchase order. Uh, this causes like this movement is without any reference, so we'll create the goods movement. Here it is a good receipt, but this good receipt is not against any purchase or any other document, so this could proceed against other without any reference. So this is the place where we will give the material that we want to bring in stock. Let's say I have a shortage of this aluminium wheel assembly. So first we'll give the quantity that we want to bring, uh, which I have given here is 102. Uh, then, of course, the location that is uh, ideally it's a semi-finished good, so it should be produced through the production, and so the location will be SF00. We can also see the movement type is 501. This is a special movement which says receipt without a PO, means a purchase order or a production. The same thing is to be done for the other material as well. So, frame, black, uh, order assembly, sorry, gear assembly, the kit, and all rest of the material. So, we'll give the quantity that we want to bring. We'll give the location. Now, the location was SF00. Uh, so, here I am opening master data, then bill of material, and then uh, the purpose is to provide the BOM application. The required quantity is one, and we are giving the BOM application as PP01. So what we can see here is for one particular material, the icon is different, which says that it is actually not a raw material, but it's a semi-finished product. This touring aluminium wheel assembly is not the raw material, but a semi-finished good, because the icon is different from the rest of the component. So the same operation is to be followed for all the product. Then we'll have to click on item OK. Because we want to bring a stock and a semi-finished product. Material should be visually okay. So we'll have to press enter and just check if everything is fine. After which we will have to post. We just have to understand here that this is just a shortcut for the purpose of training, and this is not something that is regularly practiced for generating the production order. We are giving the storage location and the quantity in units, item okay.
Every single material according to the unit of quantity is required. 55 is the bikes we are trying to produce. The 55 will be the quantity that each and every single one of these components will have. So after putting in 55 units, we go to the next item, keep going to the next item, and also specifying the storage location as RM where our raw materials are placed. Currently, we are on a pedal assembly and editing each of these units to 55. Mhm. Chain, same RM00 will be a storage location. You can also see that each of the components are listed according to their where do you put it. So now we are on warranty document, which is one of the last few things that you put in a bike after the production, so that we are sequentially producing each product and not producing something and then producing a warranty document before we produce even a bike, right? Then we are producing the packaging, which is the last thing to be produced. Same RM00 plant location. 55 will be our 50 will be our quantity in this case. And after they be satisfied, then we'll post it. After we have clicked post, we will have this material document and its number posted. We'll copy this number and save it for our future use. Yes. Now we have that material document. While we try to find the uh, analysis of the stock levels of BRKT and DXTR. So going back to the home screen and going back to the stock list, you can currently see that reserved is 10 to 50 and unrestricted is 6665. But when you refresh it, the order quantity actually reduced by 50 that we are packaging and warranty, and unrestricted use reduced by 55, which was the quantity for our materials that we were using. The on order has not been touched because we are not ordering something, we are not processing that. But when you go for DXTR, the quantity does not change any from 381. It will still remain 381 for us right now. Now, moving forward, we'll see that these materials and okay. So going back, we'll go for materials management. Then we'll go for inventory management, our period materials document. Mm, okay. So now we have the goods issue, and then we'll display our order ID. So we have that order ID posted. Now we are going to see its material document, and it shows us all the quantity items that we are kind using. Their idea of that touring aluminum is semi-finished, touring frame is raw material that you can see. Then we when click on it, also see their status, what is their quantity and what is their stock type that we're currently using. Warranty and packaging, as you can see, are in 50/50, while all the other items are 55. When you go for the doc info and click on the FI documents, we should see the accounting document here. Now, what the accounting document will show you is the changes in the inventory levels that have showed up in your accounts. One second. So here, currently you can see that this TRWA has moved inventory SFG to SF consumption expense, so that our accounts department has now logged the use of these items as per their use, and each every single inventory had a consumption expenses correlated to it, and it moves from account number 2 lakhs to 7.2 lakhs. So you can see where exactly it is going and how it will affect the financials of the company that currently uses it. Getting out of that screen later, when we now we'll go for logistics, production. Then we'll go for our shop floor control process. I think good. Where is it? Hmm. Progress confirmation. So now we want to check where our items are and how far along the process we are. So we have that order number that we'll put in here. Uh, we just let me get it. Yeah. So production order number that we have here, we'll just copy it and we'll paste here and press enter. Okay. Now you have the activity wherever they are along the process and how much the yield is for each of the process. So we put some yield and then put one as a scrap. So that scrap will be counted as zero, and the 49 would be the actual things that would be produced. Then we can also configure the labor that we are using in each shift for to produce each of the items. And so we want to save this confirmation. Costs are somewhat broken because of the scrap that we actually used. And yeah. So the confirmation order we have of that specific item, we'll use, keep doing that and keep moving up to the activity 20 to 30 and, decide the yield and the new scraps. So as you can also see that our, as much as, so last time we had a yield of 49, so only 49 units move forward. Now we are also putting in one more scrap, so 48 units will move forward. So doing that, we'll have say for each step we reduce by unit one, one of the units is wasted. That will so all the waste will be come together, and we'll see the total final number of units much later down the line. And we just continuing it, and again the confirmation order is saved. Yeah.
So, in order to produce our finished good, we need to get the raw materials, go through a certain number of operations, in after which the final product DXTR will be manufactured. Here we need to go into the shop floor control and to the confirmation in order to monitor the progress of each operation that is to be happened or to the product. Then we can go to the progress confirmation screen, which where we have to enter the order number, production order number, which we have created, and it is available at the sorry, the stock requirement list. And we are entering this where we are getting a screen of multiple operations. We have exactly 12 operations here, and we are going to we are going to monitor and note down the progress of the number of material progress of the material when it goes through each of the operations. Now I was getting an error message here in the actual cost calculation regard. So, as it was not updated after 2024, there was some issue in determining the actual costs for the order when I'm updating the values. So, I regardless went with the error, ignored the error and changed the values regardless. And the final confirmation was posted with the error existing in it. So coming to the process, yes, we had a total of 50 50 raw materials, yes, and every going through every operations, we have got a contract of getting 50 products done. So going through every operations, we are getting once we assumed that we are getting one scrape value after each operation is completed. So now I will be posting, yeah, I'll be copying the order again, order number, and we are at the fourth activity. We will just put the details of this activity and go to the details of that activity. uh, all of this, and the yield value here is 47, as the previous operation had a value of 48 and a scrap of 1, and this value will go give us a yield of 47 and scrap of 1. And yeah, we have posted this, uh, so we have saved this. Then we will go to the next process. So once I will proceed with saving the confirmation, it will not show up again the activity. Now we can see the activity number 5 is visible here. So we'll go to the details. Here you can see I have cleared as the confirmation type as the final confirmation, and a clear reservation is ticked. So also we are changing the labor value as there is a chance of human error. It is solely based on the assumptions and the routing value. So this labor here was a value of 3.9, which I have changed to 4.0, assuming that there will be a delay and there will also be human errors that will remain for the labor values. Here the yield value was 46 in the previous operation. Now after this, going through this operation, it is the confirmed unit will be 45 for yield and 1 for scrap. So for each operation here, I have assumed 1 scrap value, which in the end gives me 40 final goods without any scrap. And apologies for the delay here. I actually got a bit lagging in the screen. So after this, I will follow the same procedure with the similar configuration, similar setups of final confirmation and clear reservation and the plant DL00 with the same order number, and I will confirm each and every activity here by adding the details and changing the yield value. So here also the labor value was 1.5. So to accommodate the human error, I put it as 1.6. So the recommended the planned labor hours are not supposed to be reduced in any way. We can increase the value to get a better idea, as there is also human error and time involved, where there is a downtime and rest time involved. So labor values can only be increased to the nearest zero, nearest higher value. Hence, I have ensured that all the labor values are increased to the nearest higher decimal or round off figure. Now, continuing, we have probably 2 to 3 more activities here. Yeah, two more activities, two more operations to be performed. Now, again, I have reduced the yield value here after this operation, assuming the labor value to be labor hours to be 3.6. So this is the last confirmation operations where it needed to be confirmed. I kept the final value as 40 because there were already 10 steps where the scrape was completed, and the labor value is 0.23, I assume. And post this, there will be a the screen will display that the confirmation is saved. And after this, if we put the same order number, the confirmation, the order is already confirmed, the notification will show. Then we will go back and go and check our stock requirement list, where it was earlier showing against receipt and requirement of 50 to a receipt of 40 orders and available quantity of negative of 10, as we had originally planned for 50 orders, and now we have a number of 40 orders due to a scrape of 10. So now we will go and create a GR for this particular order. Now we will go into the goods movement, where we will get the goods issue and goods receipt. Here we'll first go to the goods receipt, because we have now received the final produced DXTR, number 40 numbers of DXTR, and we will check the goods receipt and confirm it, so that the movement will happen in the SAP. So I have done a mistake initially of putting the purchase order instead of only order. So it was coming as this purchase order doesn't exist. So I tried to execute it, but then it was not a purchase order. So later on, I changed it to order, and it showed the final product DXTR and how many quantities are produced. So we will now go to the order. Yeah. And now we will just put the same order number that we have copied. Then we will execute, and we got the individual slip of the quantity you can see, and the quantity in SKU, the quantity of entry is there. Now we have to update the inventory for this, the storage for this product. So where storage, the storage location will be, since it is the final good, which is the bike itself, DXTR, the storage location will be finished good. Now I will enter the finished good location, which is FG00, and the goods, we can do the item OK, and we can check the status. So initially, as it we had a plan of 50 goods to be created, 50 final products, there will be error message of deficit of 10 products, but we can ignore that and go ahead, as we already know that the scrape value was 10 and we got only 40 products. So now I'm posting the value and getting the material document here. I'm copying the material document for the further application. Then we will now go to the stock requirement after completing the finished good. Now, after the finished good is completed, is moved, we can see that the receipt and requirement, the 40 number will be gone from the list, and there is the unrestricted use where the finished good are stored. It will increased. It will be increased by 40 units, as we have the storage we have a new storage of DXTR for our disposal. Meanwhile, I also wanted to check and confirm the changes in VRKT, which is a raw material, and there was no changes, as we are only moving the final product through goods receipt. Now we will go and check the account statements after completing the production of the finished good and moving it to the finished good inventory. So I was also showing here the available quantity, which will be increased by 40 units of the stock, because earlier it was in the requirement and now we have moved it to the inventory. So it is ready to be complete the orders. Now we will go back and we'll check the material documents for the financial and accounting status. Now we'll go to logistics and then materials management. We will get into the inventory management, then material document, then we can go to the display change copy of subsequent delivery. After clicking on this, our screen will show us the goods receipt and the order. Then we can straight up go to the display and it will directly show us the latest material document that we have recently created after updating the goods receipt. Then we can see that the finished goods of deluxe touring bike DXDR is available with us 40 in quantity. The movement type is 101 and it is the stock type is unrestricted use. So now we will further check the documents, FI documents, to learn the financial and the accounting document situation. So we will go, there are three documents: accounting, controlling, and material ledger. So now we will click on the accounting document and uh, it can be seen that the inventory finished goods is debited by 29,282 amount, which is the quantity of 40 number of FDXTR. And then we can see that the manufacturing output settlement is credited, and the product for the under the production order it is also mentioned. The manufacturing value was drawn from the from the total cost that was incurred through labor and the operations that we updated just now. So this completes the procure to pay cycle, and thank you.